I am going to show you a $5 filter trick for your faucet, and then I am going to do the thing this channel does that almost nobody else will. I am going to be completely honest with you about what it actually strips out of your water, because the popular version of this claim is half true and half wrong, and the wrong half could leave you believing you have handled something you have not. So stay with me, because knowing the real answer here is worth far more than the comforting version. Let me start with the cheap trick, because it is real and genuinely worth doing. For about $5, you can get an activated carbon filter, whether that is a faucet mount unit that screws onto the end of your tap, or a carbon pitcher, or a replaceable carbon cartridge, and that filter does a genuinely good job on one of the two things in the title. Chlorine. A carbon filter removes chlorine and that swimming pool taste and smell beautifully. It works because activated carbon is full of microscopic pores that grab onto chlorine and many other organic compounds as the water passes through. So what comes out the other side tastes clean and fresh. For most people, the entire reason they dislike their tap water is that chlorine taste, and a $5 carbon filter fixes exactly that. It also reduces some other things, like certain disinfection byproducts and some odds and ends, as a bonus. So on chlorine, the title is completely true. $5, done, better tasting water. Now here is the honest part, and it is the whole reason I made this video instead of just repeating the claim. A basic $5 carbon filter does not remove fluoride. It just does not. Fluoride is a small, tightly bound ion, and it slips right through activated carbon. So any video, any product, any faucet gadget that tells you a cheap carbon filter strips out both chlorine and fluoride is wrong on the fluoride half. You could filter your water through that carbon cartridge all day and the fluoride level would barely move. If you believed the claim and thought you had removed your fluoride, you would be walking around with a false belief. And I would rather give you the real answer. So let me handle fluoride carefully and factually, because this is a topic where a lot of noise gets made, and I am going to give you the calm version. Fluoride is added to many public water supplies on purpose, at low, controlled levels, to reduce tooth decay. The major health and dental organizations consider water fluoridation safe and beneficial at those regulated levels, and that is the mainstream scientific position, which I am not going to misrepresent to you. At the same time, some people prefer to reduce their fluoride intake for their own reasons, and that is a personal choice you are entitled to make. My job here is not to tell you fluoride is poison, because the evidence does not support that at regulated levels, and it is not to tell you that you must consume it. My job is to give you the accurate facts so that if you do choose to reduce it, you actually succeed instead of wasting money on the wrong filter. So if reducing fluoride is genuinely your goal, here is what actually works, because you deserve the real options. The most common effective method is reverse Congratulations, your $5 filter is all you need, and you can ignore the expensive systems entirely. You cannot make a smart filter decision until you know what is actually in your glass, and that knowledge costs nothing. Let me also clear up a common mix-up, because it trips people up constantly and wastes their money. Chlorine and fluoride sound similar. They are both added to water on purpose, and people lump them together in their heads. But they could hardly be more different from a filtering point of view. Chlorine is a relatively large, loosely held disinfectant that activated carbon grabs easily, which is why a cheap carbon filter nails it. Fluoride is a tiny, tightly bound ion that slips straight through that same carbon. So the very thing that makes carbon great at chlorine is useless against fluoride. That is not a flaw in your cheap filter, it is just chemistry, and it is exactly why the two need completely different tools. Once you understand that one distinction, you will never be fooled by a filter that claims to strip both cheaply, because now you know that is not physically how it works. And let me give you the honest reason the cheap carbon filter is still worth buying for almost everyone, even though it does not touch fluoride. For the vast majority of households, the single biggest complaint about tap water is taste and smell, and that is chlorine, and chlorine is precisely what carbon removes best. So the $5 filter solves the actual problem most people have, at the actual price point most people want, and it does it well. The fluoride question is a separate, smaller, more personal one that only some people care about, and for them there is a clear, more expensive path. Do not let the fluoride caveat talk you out of the cheap chlorine fix, which is genuinely one of the best small upgrades you can make to your daily water. A few honest practical notes on the cheap carbon filter, so you get the most from it. Change the cartridge on schedule, because a carbon filter that is past its life stops absorbing and can even become a place for bacteria to grow, so follow the replacement timing on the package. Run the water at a moderate flow, not blasting, because carbon works best with a little contact time. And do not oversell it in your own mind. It is a taste and chlorine filter with some bonus reduction of other organics, which is genuinely useful and genuinely cheap, and that is exactly what it is for. Let me name the pattern, because it is here in a slightly different shape. The reason the cheap filter strips everything claim spreads is that it tells people what they want to hear, that one small purchase solves every worry at once. Real filtration is not like that. Different contaminants need different tools, and the honest version, match the filter to what is actually in your water, is less exciting than one magic gadget that does it all. So the overpromise travels, and the accurate, slightly less thrilling truth gets left behind. The carbon filter is wonderful at its real job. It just cannot do the job somebody stapled onto it in the ad copy. So here is the honest summary. A $5 activated carbon filter, faucet mount, pitcher, or cartridge genuinely removes chlorine and fixes the taste and smell of tap water and reduces some other organics as a bonus, and for most people that is all they need. But it does not remove fluoride, full stop, so ignore any claim that a cheap carbon filter strips both. Fluoride is considered safe at regulated levels by mainstream health bodies, and reducing it is a personal choice. But if you do want to reduce it, that takes reverse osmosis or a certified activated alumina or bone char filter, which costs more. Lead needs its own certified filter. And before you buy anything, read your free water report so you match the filter to what is actually in your water. The one rule under all of it is simple: match the tool to the actual contaminant, because no single cheap gadget removes everything, no matter what the box promises. Now do something for me. Go find your water provider's consumer confidence report. It takes about 2 minutes online, and tell me in the comments what your water actually contains and whether fluoride is even added where you live, because it varies a lot by location and some places do not fluoridate at all. And tell me, honestly, is your reason for wanting a filter the taste or something specific you read about? Because the answer changes which filter is right for you, and I am happy to help you think it through down there. If a salesman has ever tried to sell you a $1,000 system to strip everything, tell us that story. Subscribe and stay with me, because next time I am taking on the plastic cutting board on your counter and the recent study that genuinely changed how I think about it.